Hey everybody, as usual the cameras are all screwed up, so give me a second to get that right. First and foremost, for some reason, Foundry disappeared. There it is. There's some Foundry. Alright, let's see where everybody's at on the image
I
scale.
didn't do it. It wasn't
It's
my fault.
no, it's just Discord. Let's
Oh,
see. Well, that kind of helps. That puts two people in the right spot. So, there. That puts that there, and then there we go. I'm in the right spot now, and we'll fix Rick. There's that, and I think we're good to go here. Be updating this overlay. Well, everybody out there in Chatland, hello. We're back with your Tuesday afternoon D&D stream. A dark and hungry god arises. Why don't we we'll introduce ourselves shortly. Real quick, I do want to say, oh god, there's a Serani on the map. That's
yes.
why.
Because I'm trying to fix something. Go ahead.
Oh god. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We are at 455 followers on the way to 500. When we get to 500, I will be giving away a copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything to one lucky follower. The more people we get watching the streams, the more likely you are to get a copy of that book. I will be giving it away to someone who is in the chat when we hit that 500 mark. So, come on in. Watch the streams. We are also doing dice giveaways. Every time we hit 50 subscribers, we give away a set of dice care of our sponsor, Farboco. We already gave away one set of dice this month. We also gave away some minis care of Farboco due to the during the charity stream for hitting one of our goals. So that was pretty exciting, and they should be getting those pretty soon. I've been in contact with the people. Naihu too, one of our regular viewers, was one of our lucky winners. So that's pretty awesome, and we're glad to do that. Why don't we go ahead and get started? We don't have any other big announcements. So, Alex, you want to start us off?
Hello, everybody. I am Big Lundy, here on Twitch as well as on Twitter and such. I am playing the young astral self monk known as Vasir, who tries to keep the party spirit up by being an absolute dullard. And he does a really good job of it, in my opinion.
Beautiful job.
Hi, I'm Noor. I'm playing Luna, the once rejected half-elf that left home looking for a cure, but is now part of an adventure to save Oliver Orden. She's a life domain cleric, and through adventure and sacrifice, her friends became her family, and she's willing to do anything in her power to make sure they're safe.
Hi, I'm David. I play Angus, the party's revived rogue, who has started putting together the pieces of the 6 previous lives that he has had. Is starting to learn a little bit of magic, because once upon a time he was a wizard. And is genuinely just stumbling his way through this adventure with the party, trying not to die.
Again.
Hi, my name is Kim. I play Mirth, the party's tiefling, eloquence bard, and also somewhat unwilling warlock of the Fiend, who is currently embroiled in a plot to aid his party while fighting off the otherworldly intrusions of this asshole, now Pit Fiend. So, it's gonna be a blast. See Mark's grin.
My name is Rick. I'm the Loophole King, and I am Serani, your resident Shamalid, Swarm Keeper, Druid of the Spores, barbarian avatar of the swamp who is trying to keep his anger in control while at the same time protecting his party from the unfortunate consequences of our really bad decision-making process.
Which Sarani is never, ever a part of.
No. I'm not in charge.
But big question, Rick. When are you taking your 4th class?
Speaking of which, Mark, you didn't get back to me about whether I was going to be allowed to do that or not.
Right.
So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. That you were like, sure, I'll get to it.
Yeah, there's a
And it's
long
Tuesday.
list of things that I say sure I'll get to. So
Okay,
right now
well, you might want to put your active players at the top of that list.
They are that's the thing, that my active players are at the top of the list. There's just 35 of you. So, like...
Hey, wait. I should be at the top.
Oh, I
Followed
see.
by David,
Oh, okay.
Followed by David's 8 characters.
David has 2 characters.
One of them
If
just
Rick,
counts as
if Rick,
7.
if Rick gets a rage, I want a raise.
The honest truth is that, like I said, when I took those 2 weeks off to heal from getting holes drilled in my face, I had anticipated being able to, feel well enough at some point to use some of that time to get ahead on things, and instead I had so many complications and was in such pain that I actually got further behind because I took an unexpected week away to heal. That being said,
You need to delegate more.
there is very little I can delegate, to be honest. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. You're absolutely
you were
right.
recovering from oral surgery, so you should have just been smacked off your tits on painkillers like some nobleman of the 19th century.
Yeah, they only do that for you for like 2.5 days, and then they're like, take ibuprofen, you're on your own. So,
You have
yeah.
a really shitty doctor. I have leftover hydrocodone.
Again, I had complications that extended my healing time for an extra week. Which, guess what? Back on antibiotics this week because the healing process is still not completely gone. So they want to make sure I don't get a secondary infection.
As a non-licensed, non-medical professional, I can tell you that Wild Turkey is $12.99.
That being said,
Get some cold meat and slap it right on that son bitch.
That being said, I have been rearranging my preparation schedule over the last couple of days so that I can more accurately and more frequently answer player questions outside of our game times, because the higher levels you all get, the more questions come my way on a daily basis. And so, between that and going back to work, I realized that I need to reorganize my time so that I use it a little more, a little differently than I used to. So, expect your questions to be answered at a greater rate going forward. Rick,
Hell yeah.
stick
with what you're at for now, and
I planned on it.
Yeah.
I planned on it.
We'll deal with it.
You brought up the question.
I did. Friday, we'll have a chat. Anyway, we're here to play D&D, not talk about what we need to do outside of playing D&D, or what I need to do outside of playing D&D. And so, me, your Dungeon Master, the Mark Knight, will be running this game right now. We are traveling through Coriol Forest, which is where we last left our heroes, after treating with the elves of a nearby elf home in their search for Merwin's cabin, where the party believes they will find or hopes they will find information or items that are necessary for the unsummoning ritual that they have been tasked with completing in order to rid all of Oridon of the 8 demon lords that have entrenched themselves on the material plane. You've been traveling for a few days in Coriol Forest, a couple days, to get to where you believe the cabin to be, being led by a elvish warden. Why? Oh, I know why. By the name of Lulinar. The first night that you camped, you awoke to find a letter scrawled and left for the party.
Bye.
Xavier.
Oh.
During his watch that night, it seems that at the end of it, he simply vanished. The letter says, to paraphrase, "Well, friends, I've not known you very long, and you've not known me very long, but it seems that we've had our disagreements about how to proceed through these wood. Something that the cultist that Angus brought back for a moment spoke of has been haunting me since we left the monastery. The one cultist that I've been looking for is headed to Ironstone Hall, and I fear that I cannot delay further. I must go. I'm sorry to let you all down like this, but as I've said, I've known you for a very short amount of time, and perhaps our paths will cross again. If you hear any word of the cultists, I'm sure your spellcaster can reach me by one way or another. Please, keep me in the know. Xavier."
Well, he's got his business and we've got ours. I don't think that'll be too much of a problem. I mean, we've been doing pretty good on our own for a while.
Probably for the best.
He is just hoping that that bunny that Sarani reanimated doesn't get to him. I mean, I didn't exactly like the guy, but I don't want him to be turned into some kind of rabbit zombie.
I think he can fight off a
I
rabbit.
think he can. I think he can probably handle a rabbit.
Yeah, me too.
That was not intentional.
Do you know how you did it?
Well, kinda. It's part of the process of life and death. I guess I can harness some of the residual life energies. Keep it animated longer.
Do you think you could do it on something larger?
Don't know. Maybe.
And just
I mean, we could kill Vizier and find out.
I would prefer not.
I was thinking more that there have been a number of times where we've been outnumbered in combat. If you could take a foe that we've defeated and turn them to our side, that could be advantageous for us.
That seems like a logical idea.
Luna, how do you how do you feel about this conversation, knowing how Thondra feels about undead?
Yeah.
The same thing with,
like side
I
eyeing
mean,
Luna the whole time.
yeah, and Angus, growing up in the place that you did, you probably would know that as well.
This is Angus basically raising it as this point of like, this is a tool we can utilize, but it's not like we're going to make an army of undead. It's like we're going to use them and then destroy them afterwards.
She's silent right now.
We can use undead temporarily.
They're interns.
How about,
Okay, that's their name. They will be. I will name them Intern A and Intern B. I can actually
How about-
raise 3 of them at a time. So
how about we skip the undead talk and get straight to the cabin? In character.
well, let's. I'm waiting for the elf to get up.
Oh, the elf is up.
Elf is always up.
I've been awake all night.
First they're interned, then they're interred.
Do you just like not need to sleep, Serrani? I never really noticed that.
Well,
The
I sleep. I'm just aware of my surroundings. Aren't you?
No.
That's
When I sleep, I go to another world entirely.
then why would you come back here?
Because I have stuff to do here.
Isn't the other world safer? So,
Maybe, but even if it's safer, it doesn't really do anyone else any good if I stay there.
Can you take everybody with you? I mean, there's another world where we just
I might be able to in time, but that's going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to really learn how to do that.
So not something we can do to protect people right now.
Not right now, no. And even then, I think it would probably only be temporary.
Well, being able to put villagers in a place that they're temporarily safe while we fight is a good idea. That way we don't have to worry about harming any innocents.
I don't think that's going to be something that's going to work anytime here soon. It's not really something that I've worked on in any way, so I don't know.
Okay. We're having this conversation as we walk.
yeah, Warden Kinsendoral has been staying ahead of you, kind of leading the way, scouting out, because he's obviously the most familiar with the forest. The forest is dense. The center of this, of Coriol, is old, very old. And the trees are, well, for those of you who may or may not have spent some time in the ancient forest, they're not nearly as big as that place. But they're tall and large and have been there a long time. This is an ancient place.
Serrani's admiring the sturdiness of the forest. There needs to be more water.
What's that?
There needs to be more water.
Yes, but this deep into the forest, there's no sign of the drought.
Well, I mean, it's not a swamp.
But it is not a swamp.
There needs to be more water.
One of the things that you begin to notice as you pass closer to at first pass closer to Drayan before turning southward. Your path seems to shift at times, and it is only because of Lulinar's steady pace and guidance that you're able to continue to travel in any kind of a sense of progressive direction. There are times where you'll be walking and it'll seem almost like it'll seem like you pass the same tree or the same rock more than once in an hour. There are times where you could swear that you're headed south by the position of the sun shining through the trees, and you'll get into conversation, and 20 minutes later, the sun is in a completely different spot in the sky. And you find yourself turning around in a different direction.
Are you sure you're not leading us on in some, like, I don't know, like, weird pseudo path?
Lulinar smiles. I know my way around these woods, though the woods have been shifty of late.
Jimpy.
It seems that way.
Yes.
Sun going every which way.
Sarni's going to start marking the path
Okay.
with traveler stones and druid marks and things of that nature. You know, like make a specific flower bloom quite big. So if I pass it again, I'll notice that it's the same one.
Sure. Lulinar explains to you that it started about... it started at the beginning of the summer. Just around the edge of the northeastern edge of the forest, closest to Drayen.
Does this have to do with the Demon Lord again?
Probably.
Lulinar shrugs.
Yeah.
I know nothing of such things.
It seems like the kind of thing that could be the effect of one of the demon lords, like confusion, trickery. That might be one of their domains, for lack of a better term.
Why couldn't one of their domains be like, I don't know, sunny skies and lots of like saunas?
Mirth, would it not be beneficial to Merwin to have enchanted this section of the forest to prevent people from arriving with haste to his domain?
Mirth kind of looks up from this book he's reading, and Sarni catches a glimpse of what is... It seems to be like a big monkey rampaging through a city. I know of such spells, but to cover this much area, to have the elves not interfere with it, and to have another group show up at the cabin, I think it's something else.
That being the case, though, Merwin was supposed to be like super duper strong, right? So like maybe he can do things that go way beyond.
Question: does anybody know? Is Merwin more powerful than Enenvar?
In the books, yeah.
Well,
The
Moment's
good
alive,
wizards are usually stronger than the evil wizards.
and
Yeah.
Volkmar's not, so I guess that kind of covers it.
As a reminder, it took... it took Merwin and the Raven Legion to take down Enan Volkmar. But Enan Volkmar also had an army.
What do you mean you are not strong enough, Angus?
I just meant Merwin survived. Out of the pair, they duked it out. Volkmar died. Merwin lived, so... And there's just this moment where you're looking back and reflecting, and like the story that Angus has told you, the memory that he's recovered from his dream, is essentially the same scenario, but Toril Vyas didn't make it out alive. He went up against Volkmar and died, and that's why Angus is now stuck in this reincarnation loop.
Angus is stuck in an extended version of like, just game resetting, right? Like, that didn't work. We'll have to try again. The Lulinar just shrugs at the conversation about demon lords and the powers of Merwin. He continues to lead you. He says, well, there are places in the forest that did this before, perhaps because of Merwin, around his cabin, which, again, we know of. We know the way. But he has used magics to hide it from prying eyes for many reasons.
Maybe those other elves that got there have tampered with something and extended the power of those spells.
It's all a whole bunch of speculation. We don't know what's going on.
As you're having this
Whatever it
conversation...
is.
Oh, go ahead.
Whatever it is, it strikes me as something that's far more likely to be natural magic, druidic. So I'm glad that we have Sarani here. Your expertise will be invaluable, my friend.
As you have this conversation, Sarani, you pass by one of the flowers that you caused to bloom.
Excuse me, elf friend.
Ah, yes.
See that flower there?
He nods. The one you grew up.
Yes.
It moved.
No. It
Yes.
didn't.
Yes, the path is different, but the flower's the same.
No, that's not how that works.
It is
Isn't
here.
I mean, we don't really know, Sarani. We're still sitting here trying to figure out why the sun's in different spots whenever we walk around.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since you seem to be more aware of what's going on in my wood than I am, why don't you lead the way?
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
On.
No, neither.
Murph, can we still talk telepathically?
Sorry, what? Oh yeah, I'd be ritual casting that throughout at all times. to
Ritual
keep,
ritual casting what?
telepathic bond.
Ah,
on
yes.
Everyone in the party,
Yep.
except Elfman, so we can speak between ourselves if needed with Sharp Eye.
Understood.
Then DM, can I see if he's lying to us? Like, inside check?
Yeah, of course.
Being,
He doesn't have much reason to lie to us.
Unless he's with the bad guys.
He's for all intents and purposes, he seems friendly, though a bit snarky, and seems to have no malice or false intent about him. As far as he knows, he seems to be doing his best to lead you through the shifting sands of this ever-changing forest.
Angus is like dug around in his pack and has his compass out from his navigator's tools. And it's just like sort of looking down at it and then sort of smiling up at Warden Kinsandrel. At sea, you kind of have to go where the wind blows. Sometimes that means going back over a place you've already been. Maybe this is kind of the same.
I have never
As
seen
long as
the
we
ocean.
make it to port, that's what matters.
You have navigator's tools, Angus?
Yeah, I've had them in my pack. It's just that there's been very, very little reason for us to use them.
Do you have a compass in your navigator's tools? Is that one of the things that would be there?
That's what I was thinking. It's basically like a sextant and a compass, like the kind of things you would use at sea.
Sure.
But it's probably just going crazy because we're in the middle of this forest full of fey magic.
Yes, exactly. The compass isn't like spinning constantly, but like it will shift every time that the path seems to be different. than it was. If you look at your compass, which way is north is essentially different every time. However, what you are noticing is that, well, give me a navigator's tools roll. See if you've noticed this or not. And Sarani, you can give me a survival check now that you've noticed the flower.
I can cast guidance on Sarani.
Sure.
Okay.
And as I do that, I kind of wave my hand near his ear, and there's like a brief smell of brimstone charring, and then you hear like a buck ton of infernal whispers, each telling you to do one thing one way.
Okay.
Sarani, you've gained some infernal guidance. Congratulations.
That's a D4.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
$13.
Okay. Sarani, with a 13, your sense of direction and scouting, everything you know about, like, utilizing your natural surroundings to guide your path is telling you that you are walking in circles. Everything that you know about navigating the walkways of the natural world is just saying, we're stuck in a loop. This is not working. However, Angus, as you've been checking the compass, and as I've said, it keeps shifting which way north is. Somehow you are, regardless of that, you are always headed in that southeasterly direction that is the direction you have kind of pinpointed Merwin's cabin to be in, from looking over, from all the conversations and research that you had last time, knowing that it's in that southeasterly part of the forest. Somehow, regardless of the fact that you feel like you're turning in circles and all of the natural elements around you tell you that you're turning in circles, you are continuously headed in the cardinal direction that you are supposed to be heading. It is as if the forest is shifting around you, and you are staying the course.
If there is a magic effect, it could be that it's trying to confuse us. What better way to make us turn back than to convince us that we're going the wrong way?
I guess. I don't know. I trust Lulinar.
Elf?
Hmm?
Luna calls out to the elf. Elf?
Yeah, he says, yes?
Oh, sorry. How much time till we get there?
Well, from the elf home, it's, I believe we established last time that it was 2 days travel. Is that correct? Well, from the elf home, it's one more day, that we should be arriving where Merwin's cabin is meant to be. And as long as the forest hasn't betrayed us that much, it should still be there. Although, he's set up his own tricks, as I've said, which hopefully we can find a way to... hopefully I can remember where the door is.
I believe in you.
What's that?
I believe in you.
What'd you say, Luna?
She has like the sarcastic laugh, like, you better remember where the entrance is.
I've been alive a long time. There's lots of memories in here. I'll see if I can find the right one.
Then go ahead.
It's okay. We'll figure it out together. We have some pretty significant magical capabilities amongst us. Watch. Ara Vistria. And Angus manages to create two dancing lights for the first time, and in surprise, immediately lets them blink out.
You're getting much better at that.
It's as if Merwin himself has popped out of my books.
Yes, the power of lights that blink on and off. I can do that too with candles.
Friend Angus, next time, hold your left hand higher and more of an arc.
Arethistria. And nothing happens. You're throwing me off. And Angus is going to dig the book that Mirth gave him out and flip open to the page on Dancing Lights and recheck the incantation illustrations.
It's okay, Angus. If you're trying too hard, that's the problem. You just gotta let it happen.
What other spells can you do now?
That one you can do. Where the sound of a bell. I think I can do that one, maybe. Give me a sec. And Angus spends a second psyching himself up and looks around for something that he can try to cast it on, but doesn't want to actually do meaningful harm because he doesn't want to destroy anything in the forest.
There's an undead rabbit following you guys, so.
Oh, by the way, is there some static coming from my mic?
A tiny bit every now and then. It's not the whole time. You're fine.
Okay, let me know.
Will do. The
Warath Onathane. And the tiniest little bell appears over the head of this rabbit and rings. I think it worked.
Come on, Angus. Do it again. Focus on me this time, but point your finger towards the target. And imagine the bells.
That's a pretty good damage roll on that. Told the
Here's
dead.
the thing. The way I've been doing it is that it should technically be rolling 2d4, because that's the amount that Angus can reasonably manage at his current point. And we'll get there eventually at the point where we'll be doing a d8 worth of damage. But so I'll reroll the damage.
Understood. Okay.
I'll use Minor Illusion to create a tiny illusory clock tower around the rabbit. And then wait for the bell.
Clock tower.
The bell appears within the bell tower and dings slightly. The rabbit's ears perk up. And then the 5 necrotic damage just kind of seeps into its tiny undead brain, and the thing falls over for a moment before hopping back up. Still worse for wear, but a bit undead.
It made it safe.
Having taken no damage at all.
I think you did great.
I think, Luna, if you can take some time to help me on my form, I hopefully master it eventually.
Like I said, you're trying too hard.
Visir, with all due respect, what do you know about magic?
I don't know. Is key magic?
No.
Why
That's a good
not?
debate. Do dragons make rain?
No. That Serrani stalks off. He stands behind the elf. I'm not having this conversation.
The elf's eyebrow quirks?
Are there dragon monks?
There probably is.
There are no dragons.
Well, I mean, when there were dragons.
Nah, there's still dragons.
Do dragons make rain? No, dragons do not make.
You're not looking hard enough. Look, I
How
have
do
a
you
book.
know they don't make rain? That's an assumption. And you know what they say about assumptions? Assumption has the A word in it, and we all have those. And that's not how it goes, but it's something like that.
He's not wrong.
Well, alright. That's fine. Yes, dragons, rain, assumptions. Yes. Sure. Somebody's
I hate-
been laying it on pretty thick, I think.
I
Shall-
hate this.
Shall we? What did you
I
say?
hate so.
Huh? Shall we what? Huh?
Shall we continue to travel? And
And as he says that, yes, would you like an apple?
certainly. That day of travel goes by fairly jovially in spite of the continuous shifting terrain. It is disorienting. It is confusing. And though, Angus, your compass tells you that you continue to head in the correct direction in spite of all of this that's going on around you, it is unnerving. That night, you make camp, and as you do, the warden informs you, tomorrow we shall arrive in the portion of the forest that these elves have traveled to.
So expect ambushes.
Yes. It would be best if we moved with far less conversation.
Oh, that's the best part of traveling.
Yes, but it is not the best part of getting shot with arrows.
It's the one guy who can catch her. This is the one talking. God damn it.
That's the second time you brought that up. Are you jealous or something?
Yes, I want to be able to catch arrows. That's so, like, amazing.
Well, I mean,
Can you teach
you're
me?
good
Is
at
it,
it.
is it in the
Well,
wrist?
yeah, I can probably teach you. It's gonna take a while though. You're gonna have to learn how to meditate and stuff.
I find that it's far better to be the one who's not being shot at by the arrows.
I can't shoot a bow.
I said the one that's not being shot at by the
Oh.
arrows. What
Well,
does that have
that's
to
the
do with
fun
shooting a
thing.
bow?
That's the
Sorry.
fun thing. If
So you're
someone
talking-
shoots me with a bow, I can catch it and then make it so they're shooting themselves by throwing it back at them.
Your logic is flawless.
Thank you.
Luna's telepathically saying, I hate this guy.
Watches. We're one short, so how shall they be established now?
I will take the extra.
I can make a house that nothing can enter or leave.
I only need 4 hours of sleep, so
As do I.
so that should cover it.
All right.
Okay.
Angus is going to climb up a tree with his navigator's tools and sit with his sextant and just track via the stars to just double confirm that we are going in the right direction.
The stars throughout the night flip-flop positions in the sky. Like, they should be traveling in one direction across the sky, and instead they, like, are bouncing from cardinal direction to cardinal direction every half hour or so.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
Give me, I will need you to make a, are you hiding in the trees? Is that what you said? You're going to sit up?
Yeah, I'm just climbing to the top of a tree because obviously there's going to be like pretty dense foliage because we're
Sure.
pretty deep in the forest. So
Yes.
the idea is to get high enough that I can see the stars overhead.
Of course. Then, I will need you to give me a perception roll for your watch that night.
I guess I'll be casting sendings that night, so I'll get your responses on those.
Yes, I've sent you the responses, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
just-
So I'd respond to those that night. I'll
Okay.
draft them out after the game.
Understood. Understood. If you feel they're relevant, we can play them out.
Let's No, not really.
Okay, understood.
You read the larks? Yeah, no, should be fine.
Okay. Oof.
+9 with the 1. That's
I know. Your passive is very high though. Then it's 19.
Yeah, 19's my passive.
Okay.
It's catching up to Luna.
That night, Angus, as you are taking your watch, you notice the rotation of the terrain. Like sitting in one spot and knowing what to look for now. You watch and again, it's very disorienting, but it is as if the forest itself is moving at a cloud's pace and shifting around you. Like a slow moving cloud drifting across the sky. The trees themselves kind of rotate around your location. But your compass tells you that that is not what is happening.
It can't be an illusion. If it's an illusion, I'd be able to see through it because I know what it is. So it's got to be some kind of nature magic, right? I'll check with Sirani in the morning.
As you say that, give me an investigation roll. Having thought through that and looking very hard at what is happening around you, you begin to see one set of the forest staying in place and a translucent set of the forest shifting all around you. And as you see that, it makes you incredibly queasy because it is like watching, it's like having double vision that is also rotating at the same time.
Angus leans over the side of the tree and vomits. Just clinging to the top of this branch, just kind of shaky and queasy, and just like, okay.
You could have warned me before.
Okay.
Alright,
Oh, I am.
The tiny hut is impervious to
I
vomit.
am. I just because I haven't vomited on Sirani before, so.
He's going down the list.
Yeah, you could have warned me.
The other thing you notice is movement in the trees. You see up high where you are, you see the silhouette of one or two humanoid lithe figures moving through the branches from tree to tree. They don't seem to have noticed you.
So if we still have a telepathic bond up, I guess I would just like raise the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
It would
Telepathically.
last an hour if the others are asleep.
Yeah.
Without my...
Okay, in
Without
that case,
worrying.
I will try to roll stealth to like get down the tree to go and like just alert everybody.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, so what do I see when he points?
So you move down the tree. Again, those forms have not moved back in your direction in any way that you can tell. By the time you get down the tree, you move incredibly quiet. It's like, for a moment, you have a flashback of coming down the rigging aboard your very familiar long ago vessel, the one that seems so far away now. For a moment, you are reminded of coming down the mainmast back to the deck. And as you come down, Sirani is planted amongst the foliage.
No, he was on Sirani. That's why he puked. That's why he was on top of. He was in Sarani the tree.
I see.
That's why when he puked, it was. That's why Sarani said, "You could have warned me."
Okay, in that case, then yeah, I would probably have like tapped Sarani to make sure that like because he's aware, like to a certain degree, while he's rooted, and just the pair of us would like move as stealthily as possible to then go and like tap into the hut and wake everybody up.
Sure.
And just,
I would let him stealth. I would stay, and I would focus on the direction that he notified me.
Okay, what's your give me a perception roll if you're looking for the movement that he pointed out. Okay.
15.
Yeah, you see moving away from your position two dark silhouettes that are certainly not an animal moving through the branches of the trees themselves. They almost move in time with the wind, so that any shaking of any branches just seems like the movement of the wind itself.
I want to be an elf.
So they're mostly hidden.
They are mostly hidden, yes.
Okay. I'll not pursue them at the moment.
Angus, you enter into the hut. You can inform your companions of what you found.
Yeah, just like shake everyone awake and whisper, just there's no figures up in the trees. I don't think they spotted me, but they might be scouting.
If I were to be camped in these wood and not wanting pursuit, I certainly would have patrols.
Oh, you go punch him?
If it's worth luring them in, we could try and get some information out of them.
Punching it is.
I have an idea.
Let me.
And
What's
Angus
your
is gonna go and lean against the like trunk of a tree, and then sort of get out his witchwood wand, or it's mostly a branch at the moment. But well, one day we are. I'm gonna flick it in the general direction of where these figures are moving in the trees, and just mutter under his breath, "Ara Vistria." And it's still only a single dancing light, but it's actually a decent full-sized shape. And it appears at the extent of the range, 6 feet up, and hovers there just like a will-o'-the-wisp. Just hovering, gently bobbing up and down in the air.
Okay.
And then it's going to float
You have
down, moving towards where we're encamped, trying to lure whoever's up there over.
Interesting.
Before Angus leaves the hut, Luna would have cast a Shield of Fate on him.
Okay. Excellent.
+2 AC.
Is it cold in the forest?
No.
Okay, good. So Mirth wakes up and is pulling on a shirt as Angus rouses the rest of the crew.
Angus, you do not see the black silhouettes move to the next tree. They're not easy to spot in the darkness, as I've said, and you kind of have an idea of where they are, but they are not continuing to move away. They seem to have stopped. They are about, I would say 30 feet up in the trees, and probably about 90 feet away from where all of you are. And they have stopped moving.
Gonna use my active feat and project my voice so that it sounds as if it's coming from where I've got the orb sort of hanging in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking a sort of slightly haunted version of the Annie accent. Machete, where are you?
Give me a performance roll.
Can I tell
Okay,
if they're watching the light?
I got the active feat.
No, they're just a dark shape hidden within the trees. You just can tell that they're not moving away from you anymore. $27.
While he is doing this performance, can I get myself positioned like near, like around him in a stealthy fashion so that I can like attack when necessary?
Sure, give me a stealth roll, the seer.
I'm not gonna try to stealth.
Okay.
I'll just stay hidden right where I am
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
All right.
I'm going to do this.
Ah. You are now a fart in the wind.
Yes.
Did he just go gaseous?
Yes.
Yes, I did. And I'm going to start moving towards the light.
No, your time is too soon. Dondra's not going to let us take you back.
And it's a greenish black mist.
Okay.
That's surrounding, right?
The forms in the trees begin to move back in the direction of initially the light. But then, they start moving back in the direction of the light in the trees. You can see them doing this, Angus.
And Angus can see Sarani turn into this mist and start floating towards the light. Like I'm trying to take his cue of what I heard the voices say.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna basically roll concentration because Angus is still not like particularly practiced at maintaining concentration on the dancing light. So I will see.
As they are moving towards you, and you are attempting to concentrate on your light, the light winks out, and Sarani's gaseous state kind of floats up towards it, and amongst those distractions, you lose sight of the figures moving in the trees.
What about me?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm going to keep looking.
Sure.
Floating in the same direction. Keep floating in the same direction.
Okay.
I have a flying speed of 10 feet. I'm not getting there in a hurry, but
and if you could, let me do this.
Sure.
Oof.
And I'm going to close my window because I'm mowing.
Oh boy.
Ah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
As Mirth kind of nears the entrance to the tent, he'll kind of he's like absentmindedly muttering curses, and his hand brushes the symbol of Dondra dangling from his left horn, as he mumbles, probably just some random googly gook he heard Luna say during the Sharp Eyes resurrection. And winces as there's a small spark and this whisper as I cast Aid on myself, Angus, and Vasir.
Okay.
At second level.
Okay.
So 5 hit points to those 3.
All right.
Shit.
Everybody roll initiative, please.
Oh god. Okay.
No. Damn.
I love my +9.
Damn.
Sharp
I
eye.
got an 18.
So sharp eye is at 20.
I'm going to mark this one elf to show that it is your guide.
Okay.
Oh, goody.
Angus, I need your. Did you roll initiative?
I was just having to refresh Foundry because it wasn't letting me open my character sheet.
Understood.
I should be 10 feet closer than everybody else, or 20 feet closer than everybody else.
Sure, that's fine. All right. The seer. You have, even though you have the highest initiative, you have no idea where these creatures are. You can't see them. They are hidden in the trees. They have moved out of sight, and it is dark. You need your ancestral form up, or your astral form
Astral
up.
self.
You need
yes.
your astral self up to be able to see in the dark. Correct?
Not a problem. I will put that up.
Okay. And you
Did you
cannot
want
be
me-
surprised. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Then you activate your astral form, but you see no sign. Even in the dark, you see no sign of these elves.
Did you still want me to make that perception check as I moved closer before the initiative? Or
Yeah, you can make a perception check. That's fine.
As a note, I do have an 18 passive perception, if that matters.
That is also fine. I rolled for them to see what their
Okay.
stealth roll is, so I know
Gotcha.
I've got it. The
20.
Okay. The first arrow flies out of the trees at you, Vasir. You are trying to be hidden, but in spite of that, out of the darkness of the trees, 2 arrows come flying in your direction from a hidden spot in the tree line, or up above in the branches.
Okay.
17 and a 14 to hit.
Neither one of them is going to hit.
Okay, so they come and they slam into the foliage around you that you are hiding amongst. And you can follow the trajectory back to where a silhouetted form is ducked between, within the densest portion of foliage and branches up in one of these tall trees. It is then going to they will then move kind of away from where you all are to a different part of the tree line, but you're able to track where they are headed, Vasir.
You want to try and run from me?
All of you can track.
Probably not, though.
Probably not. Your wood elf companion, the warden, will step out of the tent, track the direction of the one elf who has fired upon Vasir, and will attempt to strike. None of you are surprised because you saw them moving towards you and then disappear, so you know that they are up there and that they are moving to engage, and especially after the arrows fly. However, the one elf is still hidden from your sight, if that makes sense. And he will make 2 shots against them, and one of his shots must connect in the darkness because you hear the sound of the elf taking a hit from one of the arrows.
Awesome.
And then Angus, it is your action.
So how far am I towards the tree that one of them is standing in?
You are about 60 feet. 60 feet to the tree, and it is 30 feet up. Actually, no. The one that you can see moved further away so that he can still maintain line of sight, but within longbow range. So he is probably at this point closer to like 120, 90 feet away from the party. He's 90 feet away from the party.
Okay, so Angus is going to take his 40 feet of movement, take a dash for another 40 feet of movement, and then, so it'd be like 10 feet away from the tree. He's about 33. Is that enough range that I would be able to get off a great ball?
Yes.
Okay, then I will do that.
That will hit, and you hear a sharp intake of air as the necrotic damage slams into the elf attempting to hide within the tree line. As the bolt flies up towards the creature, it hits several leaves, and you watch as they wither from the energy of the bolt. And then the elf gets struck and falls from the tree. Their form having been drained of life by the necrotic damage. They lie. It lies dead upon the grass, having fallen out of the tree.
And then Angus is just gonna once again have his Witchwood wand, just point it out generally into the tree line, and Arafistria. Come on, and I think what I will probably do is just kind of roll Arcana to see like how well the actual lights turn out.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh,
Also, it's pretty good.
you
So
have
for the second time, he manages to produce 2 actual dancing lights, and so they just hover as this like twin pair spinning around each other in a little orbit.
Nice.
That's about. I need to double check how much light that actually produces.
I think it's like 20 feet, maybe.
So it's 10 feet of dim light from each orb.
Mirth. Tell me what you're doing. The other wood elf has remained hidden.
Okay. Can I do investigation to try and scan him out?
Yes, you certainly can. You can look around the trees.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
You are searching, looking for evidence of movement, evidence of these creatures, and in the darkness, in a tree only about 60 feet away from you, up high in the tree, amongst the foliage, you see a glint of metal off the tip of an arrow. No one else would have seen this. You barely spot it in the darkness. The only reason you see it is because of Angus's sudden emergence of dancing lights, which cause the tiniest gleam on the tip of an arrow. And then as your eyes adjust, your dark vision settling onto that spot, you can make out the bow and the lithe form silhouetted amongst the leaves.
Oh, solid stuff, Angus. That was my action, right?
Here's hoping I can maintain concentration.
It's fine, just breathe. You got it. It's good. Stay calm. Mark, that was my action to investigate, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I will use my bonus action to call out to Sarani. Oh wait, no, Sarani's a cloud right now.
Sarani is a cloud.
Yes, I'm gonna call out to Angus, and yeah, just tell him you got this. It's all in the breath. You're doing great. 2 orbs already. Go crazy, and then I'm gonna proceed to run back inside my hut.
Okay.
And hide from arrows.
Okay. So you pointed out where this creature is in the trees.
Yeah, I would have yelled him and go get him.
Okay. It is Sharp-Eye's turn. What is he doing?
Alright, well, Sharp-Eyed, first thing he'll do is produce a small patch of dried swamp herbs and dash them across his eyes and the bridge of his nose, and cast Dark Vision as he takes a shuddering breath in through his nostrils.
Nice.
And now he can see. And bonus action, he is going to he's going to scamper 35 feet closer to the elf and scramble up a tree if needed, since he can climb, thanks to Canny. And then cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Sure.
As his eyes slit. Oh wait, I can't do that. That's another level spell.
It's
yeah,
not.
so he's-
Yeah, you're right. It is another leveled spell.
Then he will not do anything for the bonus action.
Okay, that's fine. Luna, you know where the creature is now. Mirth has pointed it out, and you've been able to focus in on where the elf is hiding.
Okay. As a bonus action, we'll cast. We didn't have a long rest yet, right?
Not yet. No.
Okay, so I'll cast. It's 60 feet away from me, correct?
Correct.
Just to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll cast Spiritual Weapon
Okay.
as a bonus action at first, right behind perhaps the elf, and try to hit them directly.
Sure. You cast it, and suddenly that small part of the trees is lit with a glowing weapon. What is your spiritual weapon shaped like normally?
Its shape is like the silver circlet of Thundra.
Okay, so this spinning circle of Thundra appears nearby, and though it moves to strike at the elf just kind of like dodges back against the trunk of the tree enough to be missed by the weapon.
Then in frustration, points her finger at the elf and casts as a cantrip Toll the Dead.
Sure.
The Wisdom 17 DC.
It just makes it 17.
And that's it.
Okay. Sarani, you're moving in a gas-like state, watching the events occur almost in slow motion around you. What do you do?
Since I'm only about 40 feet away from it now, right? Because they moved closer to us and then attacked.
Yes.
Okay. So I've been moving upwards, so I'm about 15 feet off the ground as I have been moving, diagonally up.
Right. In gaseous form, you only have 10 feet of movement, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've been moving in a diagonal direction.
Right.
Off the ground. I'm going to. You see the gaseous forms start to coalesce around one of the trees a little bit, and then it turns into this weird-looking ape creature that kind of resembles the picture in Mirth's book. As I wild shape into an ape, and then use my other 30 feet of brachiation movement to close the distance within 5 feet of the elf.
Okay.
As a gorilla.
All right, you do so. And the elf looks in shock as a strange gorilla creature climbs up into the branches beside it.
Yeah, and I have a bonus action, don't I?
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Can you just drop the spell? Is that? Yeah, it's concentration. So.
Yeah. I mean, I can wild shape because it doesn't prevent me from it prevents me from casting spells, but it doesn't prevent me from
Right.
So technically, I can be a gaseous ape, but I'm not going to do that because that would be confusing. And then once I get up next to him, I'm going to bonus action rage and do the big gorilla.
That's fucking sick.
Okay.
The big chest pounding.
The wood elf is going to fire twice into you. Actually, it'll drop its bow and draw its blade, I think. Or it'll just hold the bow in its one hand, kind of letting the arrow fall out of his hand, and pull his short sword in his other hand, in his main hand, and make 2 attacks with its short sword.
I have an AC of 14 right now.
Understood. It hits twice.
Sure.
17 and 18 to hit.
Those both hit.
Okay, so you're going to take a total of 11 damage, which is halved from being raged.
Yeah, so 3 and 2 is 5.
Yep. And then Vasir, it is your action. You see Sarani in gorilla form fighting the elf in the trees, while the glowing symbol of Thondra hovers menacingly beside it. And yeah, what are you doing?
I almost feel like I'm not necessary here, but I'll go ahead and do stuff anyway.
Okay.
And
What are you talking about? This is it. Stun it. We need a prisoner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I kind of figured it's fine.
Plus, you now have advantage because I'm within melee range of it.
So I'll go ahead and just run up the tree and and start attacking this creature. This elf.
While he's standing sideways on the tree. The seer doesn't land on the branch. He runs up sideways and stands on the side of the tree.
Give me your attack rolls, please.
If you're gonna be a super
23.
That will hit.
And that's a DC 16 con save.
Why do you have advantage against it now?
Because I'm fighting it with Sarani. Figure, just opposite sides. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Plus
I'm dumb.
2.
We're not using those.
Yeah, it's +2.
Yeah. So that would be 8, 12, 16, 17 actually is what it
17 will still hit. That's fine. So your first strikes, and it needs to make a what save?
would be. A DC 16 con save.
9.
Okay. It is stunned.
It is.
I don't know. Do I want to just continue hitting? Yeah, I guess I could. And knock him out. Best I can, anyway.
Okay. So the first.
No, I definitely have
What was the
advantage.
damage from the first attack?
Oh, I'm sorry. 11.
Okay, 11, and then from the second attack.
8.
Okay. You knock the
Isn't
creature unconscious.
Isn't that a crit, though?
It is. It is a crit. So you will definitely knock the creature unconscious.
I will grab it before it falls out of the tree.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I was going to help Sarani, make sure it doesn't fall out of the tree and die.
This is exactly kind of how I picture this happening, is that Vasir rushes forward, runs up the side of the tree, kicks the elf in the head, causing it to become stunned, hitting it a second time, and then do you land on the branch, or do you just kind of land back down on the ground after the hit? It is about to fall out of the tree, and Sarani just grabs its quiver with one hand, and now the unconscious elf is hanging suspended in the air over the side of the tree branch.
Well, I could have just fallen with the thing.
You could have.
No. I'll throw him over my shoulder.
That's why I asked if you landed back down on the ground or if you stopped on you landed on the branch, because I could see you there's no room on that branch for me, Sarani, and this elf. I'll just run up, kick it, and then land on the ground beside it, because
Can you stop? Can you stop on a vertical surface yet?
I can't stop on a vertical surface now.
No, he can't stop on a vertical surface, but he has ways of preventing falling damage as a...
Yeah. I won't take falling damage from anything that's more than that's less than 50 feet high, basically.
Yeah.
So
You-
we're good.
You literally do some kind of crouching tiger, hidden dragon bullshit to hit this
Yeah, basically.
to take this elf out.
No, the falling crest, the falling bicycle kick. So you just run up and then kick him in the head as you leap on top of his head, and then kick him again, and then land on the ground.
Yeah, things exactly that kind of stuff is.
We can't stand there like, oh, I should probably kept him from falling.
So there's all this acrobatic kung fu badassery going on, and Angus is just dragging the dead elf's body over to camp.
There's all this, everything's going on, and Angus is like, yeah, fine. Just...
So yeah, you have an unconscious elf and a dead one back at your camp.
I will bring the unconscious elf back down, and I'm going to stay in gorilla form for the whole 2 hours. I look like Gorilla Grodd.
Okay. Tell me.
You've seen the TV show that kind of gorilla.
The warden puts his bow away and walks over to the or walks over to Angus, dragging the dead elf over, and reaches down and says, "Thank you," and pulls his arrow out of the body of the elf and kind of cleans it off in the dirt, and then walks back over to where everybody else is, letting Angus continue to drag the body.
Yeah, and as he comes over, Angus is expecting like, oh, good, he's gonna like help me carry the body, and then he just like plucks the arrow out. Also, Angus is just like, "You're welcome," and goes back to dragging the body.
He smiles and says, "I said thank you."
All right, I'll catch up with Angus and grab the other body, and lift it as well.
Okay.
And I'll throw the dead body down on the ground, and then I'll pick up the one that I have off my shoulder. I'll snap off the quiver.
Right.
And throw it to the other elf. Right.
He'll catch it.
And then I'll slam the other one down. Serrani is never gentle when he puts people back down on the ground. So he's just like, stunk.
Okay. It takes a failed death save.
He just looks at it and goes, just moves his arms like, go ahead, do your thing. And then he goes and sits over in the corner.
We gonna tie him up?
Conspicuously absent. Steve is not here.
Interesting.
While we're tying him up, I'll probably cast Spare the Dying on him so that he doesn't die for a while until we're ready to interrogate him.
Well, the one is unconscious, right? So he's not actually dead.
I mean,
Visir did.
that.
What's that?
After
Just
that
don't
hit,
worry about me.
Understood.
I think he wants to spare the dying in case they tell Serrani to pick him up and move him again. More of a precautionary spell than it is.
I'll just kind of sit in front of him and wait for him to regain consciousness.
The question is, do you want to deal with these two now, or wait till the morning?
Whenever they wake up, really.
Somebody roll a d4 for me.
Let Alex do it. He's going to knock him out.
Okay. It has been most of the way through the first watch. This elf, if anybody takes the time to examine the creature, will awaken from unconsciousness in 3 hours.
Yeah,
so-
Serrani's literally sitting right next to him.
Okay.
If he opens his eyes to blink, I'll flip him in the face again.
Understood. Well,
Not to hurt him, but just to make sure he's conscious.
you've captured these pair of elves during the night that were moving through the trees, and Visir, you immediately can see now that they are laying beside you that they are wearing things that are very similar to the elves that had assaulted the queen. You're muted.
These are the zealot ones.
And
I know, I've seen it. I talked to one.
you've all seen them. You've all seen it before. But we are going to let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. This is a good spot to do that.
paw recipe, please. Shoot me one.
Hey everybody, we're back. So you've taken down some elven scouts. They are clearly wearing similar attire to the elves who had attacked the queen some weeks ago in Twiland Hill. You have them tied and are waiting for them to awaken. But your elven companion, well, actually, Angus, it was your rest. And so your elven companion suggests perhaps you should continue to rest, and Angus here can continue his watch, and if they awaken, then he can summon us. But it's important that should we continue to travel tomorrow, that we have our wits about us.
Sarani will curl up. So here's a question, and it's not specific. Sarani is going to attempt something.
Okay.
I'm going to try to stay in gorilla form and root myself.
That will not work. You plant your ass into the ground,
I
and
dig my feet in really deep, and I'm like,
and sit.
so the rest of the watch, Sarani just kind of sits there with this disgusted look on his face. He kind of grumbles a couple of times.
How long do you stay in animal form?
2 hours.
Okay. After 3 hours or so.
Yeah, in 2 hours I go back to rooting.
Okay. Angus, towards the end of your watch, the elf begins to awaken, slowly coming to with a groan. Bruises have formed where the seer has punched and kicked the captive.
We put him like tied and bound, so I'm just gonna like sit back and just wait for Warden Kinsander to finish his trance, so that he can take over the second half of for the night.
Right before I doze off in the tent, I'm going to cast Sending with my last slot to Troll, and the contents of the sending will just be the letter E.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Wait, who are you sending this to?
Troll. And it's just E.
Okay. You receive back a sending unintentionally from Troll that is just screaming.
Well, at least we know he's alive.
Yeah,
That's the big
it.
bit.
It's just ah!
just 25 characters and then silence.
It's not characters, it's words. So depends on how long he can scream. This could be a really long sending for you. 7 minutes later, you just see Mirth going, "Okay, that's enough. I won't do that again. That backfired badly."
All right. Well, I'm
The
just happy to know he's alive.
where did you put the dead elf?
Next to the live one.
Okay. The
Sarni has a
Do you-
little-
We're the good guys.
We wanted to stack them next to each other. Well, it's harmonious. Live
do you
and dead.
speak Elvish, Angus?
I don't.
Okay.
Can we assume I'm with Angus? for
If you
this?
would like.
Oh, I was with Angus on his watch because we both.
Oh, okay.
Neither one of us have to actually quote sleep.
Never mind then.
I'm gonna take aspect of the tomb just so I can fit in.
I just didn't know who of you can speak Sylvan or Elvish.
I speak both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
All right.
I only speak the Druidic version of those in Primordial, so.
I
Okay.
speak Elvish.
Yeah, basically, Angus's idea was essentially to wait for Warden Quinn Sandrol to finish his trance,
Mm-hmm.
and then like trade out the position. So Angus is going to like lie down and pretend that he's going to sleep,
Okay.
because while I'm in my essential dreaming state, I'm like still hearing anything going on around.
Understood.
So if I start hearing conversation that's happening in Elvish, just gonna like crack one eye open and be paying attention, because we don't know for sure yet whether we can trust him. We assume so because he did help us, but it's just being aware.
Okay. Eventually he awakens from his trance and comes to replace you. The elf who was unconscious is now conscious but groaning, clearly still in poor shape. Awakening with 1 hit point doesn't necessarily mean that you're fully aware of your surroundings yet.
Yeah. So, Angus, you can move, 90 feet this thing around, right? And the seer, yours is 150? 80, and yours is what?
If I use my action to dash as well, it would be 120 would be the maximum distance I could cover.
And
I can
yours?
cover 165 feet.
Okay. So when the elf gets back up and Angus is going to do that, Serrani's going to unroot himself and go 100 feet out into the woods where the elf showed up the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and root himself out there to stay aware of so this time if they try to sneak up, they might actually sneak up and sit on Serrani. So I can just murder. So I can just murder them there without having to alert the party.
Angus, when this elf first wakes up, before you are tapped out by your elvish companion, you hear him kind of groaning and awakening, and then he says something in elvish, looking over to the other, to his companion, realizing that the companion is not responding or moving, and that they have, over the course of these 3 hours, gone cold. The elf begins to weep silently, but you can hear it in the stillness of the night, after saying something in elvish.
Sort of like having recognized that, just gonna like go over, make sure like the dead elf's eyes are shut. Maybe just like make a couple of gestures over him, like a prayer to Thandra. Try to show some sense of like, we didn't mean to necessarily kill you, but you did sneak up on us. I don't know if you understand common at all.
As you move over to it, and you go to close the eyes of the one elf, the other elf, still in elvish, begins to venomously say something. You can tell by the tone of voice that they're like venomously saying something to you. You do this prayer to Thandra, and it watches you the entire time, glaring at you as you do this.
Just gonna like shrug and sort of try to just gesture in that way where it's like, I have no idea what you're saying. I think I get the gist of it though. And then like move back and just be sat with the back to a tree, just keeping an eye on him.
Sure. The and then you are the change of shift arrives shortly after that. Our prisoner is awake.
I figure it's best to wait till morning for an interrogation. Once we've got everybody ready, I mean, they're probably supposed to check back in, so they'll notice they're missing.
The other elf begins to once again call over in the direction of you, and the warden in Elvish. Well, this should be a delight. He's already yelling traitor at me, so that should be wonderful to listen to this entire time. Get some rest.
Okay, and like I said, Angus is gonna like make a show of like laying down to sleep,
Sure.
just keeping one ear out to see if he actually does communicate or whatever, or if it's mostly just this one elf.
He calls
Muttering.
over. Yeah, he calls over to them, and he walks over, looks down at the elf, kind of kneels down, and speaks in Elvish to your prisoner for a few moments, and then climbs up into the tree above the prisoners. Meanwhile, the elf that was spitting Elvish at your guide just kind of goes silent, though still with this expression of both pain and anger on their face. The next morning, the elves are still there. The warden is not in the tree that he had climbed up into. But all of you begin to awaken.
Would we be able to roll perception for when he would have snuck away in the middle of the night? That if we would have noticed him leaving?
You could roll perception. Sure, it would be towards. Yeah, go ahead. Roll perception.
Who's leaving?
Yeah, you have no idea. He's just not there when you awaken.
Did he go past me?
No.
I can find him if we need to. But it will take immense power for me to do so. So I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point.
Your prisoner shouts to you, Luna. Half-human, do you speak our tongue?
She approaches him and sits right in front of him and tells him and replies in Elvish, "I'm listening."
Why?
Why what?
Why did you do what you did?
You call me half human and you ask that question.
You're right. You are clearly of evil nature if you are partly human. You have their way. There is no why with you. It is just violence.
What were you doing up those trees?
What business is that of yours?
You attacked us. I want to know. And before you answer, this is all in Elvish, okay? So, she tells him that you see my friends over there. She's pointing at the rest of the party. They're about to hurt you a lot if you don't tell us, if you don't let me help you. I am sorry.
Oh, I see. We attacked you. Yes. I believe that it looked as though you attempted to lure us into an ambush with your lights and your friends in hiding.
As you can see, my friends are human. They can't see in the darkness. They needed the light. You decided to shoot and ask questions later. Am I wrong?
He nods to Visir. That one was hiding, crouched, ready to strike. You say your intent is not ill?
Hey, he nodded at me. Are you guys talking about me?
I'll just quietly whisper to Visir, yeah, a little.
We
Neat.
left. We saw your man in the tree. We left you alone. And you lured us back. With those hidden. You killed. He
I am.
says, let your friends do what they will. They can no longer hurt me, for I am already dead inside. Looking at his companion. You see that his eyes are getting glistening as he says this.
I can bring your companion back. But you need to answer our questions.
Do not dangle false hope in front of me, half-human. You only wish violence. You offer something that you will not give. Did somebody say they were trying to find the warden?
I asked if he went past in my direction,
He did not.
so I don't know he's gone.
I said I can use a spell to find him, but I didn't
Okay.
follow up with that.
All right. You see, after while you're having this conversation, the warden appears, and he has a string of snared rabbits that he is carrying over to the campsite. Kind of whistling, completely oblivious to what is going on.
Luna turns to Mirth and, gesturing that if he has any ideas what to do, what we should do.
I don't know. Do we need to know something from him?
Is telepathic on? Still.
No, not yet.
Then I see. She goes up to you and whispers that if you can give us some insight on what to expect moving forward, that would be good. Unless somebody has a better idea.
Alright, kind of walk on over to the elf. Kind of crouch next to him. In Elvish, morning. Hello, hi, and I'll poke him in the face twice.
He shakes his head away from your pokes.
If you're already dead, do you mind, talking to us? It won't matter, right, if you're dead?
Fuck you.
Oh, rude. Look, we don't want harm. In fact, we're kind of trying to do the opposite right now and prevent as much damage to the forest as we can. You don't seem like a very open fellow. You've probably been living under tree or whatever for the last few centuries. But there's kind of an apocalypse about to happen, and your dear trees kind of are in the way of that, and they're not going to take kindly to it. We're trying to not have everything explode, and you could really help contribute to that right now, right here.
I would prefer to speak with the half-human who is not a sarcastic child.
I'm going to pick up a clump of grass and just stick it near his mouth and then cast command and just say eat.
Wisdom save, right?
Yeah.
He begins to chew the curd.
Alright, look, buddy. If I swap over to Sylvan, do I get that, like, the look of recognition if I begin to speak?
Yeah, and then he spits the grass out after a moment. And
Now
at
you
your
look
face.
stupid. Okay, I kind of bat it away because it's wet grass and you probably can't spit it very well. Look, you look stupid now. I'm probably the one who's least inclined to try and disembowel you. Except maybe the human over there, he's nice. I'm not being sarcastic or anything, we really are trying to stop it. And the half-human is not in the best of moods lately, and your people being racist to her aren't generally helping. So if you could cut that out, that would be great. Look, I don't want to make threats to a dead man. Ah, fuck, I just did. Sorry. But if we have to pry the questions from your body, we have ways to do it. And it's not going to be as...
Then do
fun
it and stop
others.
wasting my time with your worthless, empty words.
Mark,
Demon
see,
spawn.
Yeah, devil spawn.
Devil.
Here's the thing,
He says devil spawn. I'm sorry, that was
Oh.
my mistake, not his.
Alright. Good elf. Look, you have more time to waste than we do. But as of right now, your forest doesn't. And neither do your people. If you want to see any part of the old ways come back, I'm guessing that doesn't involve your city, the trees around it, going up in a big fucking pillar of demon fire. Yeah? Can we agree on that?
I agree with nothing you say.
Okay, well, it's gonna make it very difficult, isn't it, moving forward?
He shrugs.
Can I add something?
So how's it going? We making progress?
Mark, can I ask something?
Yes.
Do I know how elves bury their dead, or what do they do with their dead? If that makes sense.
Give me a I guess give me a history roll. You didn't grow up amongst elves, though, right? You grew up in Limil. Yeah, you don't really know.
Angus is going to have walked around, taking a general impression of the fact that Mirth is not seeming to have made much progress, and is now knelt down at the head, in front of the dead elf, and is just idly, just gently stroking away the hair, looking at this horrible blast mark of where the grave bolt hit. Mirth, Luna, please tell our friend here that if he doesn't answer our questions, I'm gonna have to do that thing where I drag this poor fellow's soul back from the afterlife, and that it will be very, very painful for him. And that I cannot guarantee there will not be long-lasting damage to the soul of this poor fellow.
He's telling the truth as far as I know. The last few times he's done it has involved a lot of thrashing, and eyes rolling back in his head. It's not pretty, but it works, and I don't want to see it happen. I don't think you do either.
You see the elf look sideways at his companion. And how do you have him tied? Is he within reach of the dead elf?
I imagine behind his back, he's on his guard.
Okay.
I would have pushed him up against a tree.
All right. You see him look at the dead companion. Angus, give me an insight roll. You have advantage.
Right.
Nora, are you on push to talk at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No, why?
There's like
a weird.
Yeah, there's a
screeching
constant
noise.
background noise coming in from your microphone. So I don't know if you can put yourself on push to talk for us. Thank you.
I did.
Oh, it's coming from... Rick has some background noise too going on.
Sorry, they're mowing. I'll switch over.
Thank you. It's very distracting to me, unfortunately, because my brain just gets easily distracted by things like that. Angus, he is looking at his companion when you went over to his companion earlier to close the eyes, and the way that the elf spoke, even though you didn't understand the language, and now as your companions are explaining to him what you just said, and he is looking over at the other elf, you get a flash of how you've looked at Roger when you're in danger.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll performance on Angus making that threat, because there is this crushing weight of what he's done that's falling over him, but he's also trying to put on this front to get the information we need.
Sure. Go ahead. You sense this and others don't because it is familiar to you. You're not doing a very...
Yeah, Angus pushes up and sort of staggers off in the direction of where Sarani is rooted, and has just pressed an arm up against a tree, has his forehead pressed against his arm, and is just tears.
That recent dream is kind of running through your mind as this happens. You remember the letter that you sent with Lark, and you wonder about it.
Angus, you okay?
I really hope Luna can. She's got to fix it. I didn't know.
Sort of jog over to Angus so I can get close to him. Are you gonna be okay?
We're doing what we need to. This is to save everybody, but it's...
Are you sad because we're treating the elf kind of rough?
I was so fucking sanctimonious to Xavier, and I just went and did exactly what I accused him of doing. Just treating them like the enemy, like they don't have people who care about them, who love them.
Mirth,
Yeah, V?
can you do the thing where you usually do with Sharp Eye, but with me, so that I can speak languages?
Yeah? Oh, do you want to talk to the...
Yeah, I'd like to say some stuff.
Here, wait, I can do one better. I'm going to choose the Visir, Serani, Angus, Sharp-Eyed, and the Elf,
Mm-hmm.
and tap a manuscript on my belt and just push a spark of magic into it as a mote of understanding settles into all of those people's minds as I use universal understanding, universal speech. Oh shit, never mind. No, it doesn't work like that. They can understand me. So yeah, I will just use tongues on Visir.
Understood. And David, go ahead and get an inspiration point if you don't have one already.
Oh, actually, wait. I can probably, if I use tongues on the elf, that'll probably be better because then he can talk with everyone.
No,
Is
Is
it
is it something that you have to choose to do, or is it
This spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears,
that's oh, okay, gotcha. All right, understood.
and then vice versa. If he speaks, everyone can understand him. So
All right.
that would eliminate the language barrier for everyone involved.
Sounds good.
I'm going to cast a spell. You won't die. Just relax, and I'm gonna lay a hand on
Okie
his
dokie.
forehead. Oh no, I'm talking to the elf. Here,
Yeah,
and
he's
this will let
casting
him
a
talk
spell
with-
on the elf.
This will let him talk with all of us, and I will cast tongues on the elf.
Okay. The magic settles over the elf, and he winces as you go to cast it, and then opens an eye as the magic settles around him.
And I'll give a gesture to Visir. Proceed.
I'll kind of come over to the elf and he's gonna shoo away anybody who's kind of like looming over him, so that he can speak to the elf on a more like personal basis.
Okay.
So you're probably not gonna be too thrilled about speaking my language, but this just makes things easier. Look, we screwed up pretty bad here. I mean, I don't think you guys deserve to get hurt that badly. I just wanted to knock you out, really. So, all things considered, I think it'd probably be a good idea if we brought your friend back.
Give me a persuasion roll. Okay. Let's see.
Don't you have inspiration?
Oh, I do. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use it for this.
Okay.
Can I give him guidance?
You may.
Much better. Well spent.
Like, before walking away, Luna would probably place her hand on Basir's shoulder, giving him guidance while she heads towards Angus.
The mechanically speaking, well, not even that. You
Nor.
you You mean this, don't you?
Of course I do. I don't want to hurt people if I don't have to.
But you are human.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm a traitor human.
Then how can you be trusted by me?
Well, I guess the main thing here is that I want to make sure that I don't accidentally hurt anybody that doesn't need to be hurt. So, regardless of what you tell me, right now, I'm going to let Luna know that she needs to bring your friend back. Because it wasn't really nice for us to kill him. Especially since we didn't even mean to. So that's going to happen one way or the other. If you don't want to believe me beyond that, regardless, well, I guess that's up to you. Personally, what I want to know, because we're going to be heading to a cabin here soon. I'm sure you probably know about it. There's probably more of your people there, and it'd be good for us to know ahead of time how many people we're going to be dealing with so that we can deal with them non-lethally. I've spoken to some people like you before, not just elves, but ones who believe in the reviving of your nation, that whole thing. They tried killing the queen. I don't understand you guys, but I do know you're still people.
I will say what I can. What I believe is not. I will answer what questions I can. If you do what you say.
Of course.
Bring him back.
Luna,
Yes.
can you come here a second?
And I do that.
Hey, so can we bring the one who died back? Or it's not too late, right? It's not even been a day.
It's been like 6 or 7 hours.
I mean, we can try, but it will take some time, and I don't think we have that. I can try. Out of character, I can't.
Yeah, no diamond, right?
You don't have a diamond?
No.
Well, when you can, I guess we'll work on it then. And I'll look over to the elf. Well, we'll get to it when we can. Unfortunately, I guess these things take a little bit of time. In the meantime, I don't want to kill any more of you guys. How many of your people are patrolling around the cabin?
As I suspected, lies. You offer hope and pull it away.
Well, let it not be said that I'm a liar. I look over to our warden. Do you guys have diamonds back where we picked you, where we talked to your elder?
The warden, is making breakfast out of these rabbits when you ask that, and he looks up. Well, I mean, yes, we have diamonds available to our healers for obvious reasons.
Good. I need one.
You need me to guide you to the cabin. You want me to go back there? It's going to take me 4 days to get back.
I can run really fast.
I don't think we have time to go back.
We should push on.
I don't like that idea.
You can run continuously.
If we get to the cabin and the thing that we think is there might be there, there'll be diamonds inside, wouldn't there? That would have
That's
to
not
be-
going to convince him, though. And I need help to make sure that we don't kill anymore.
Well, we have ways of finding this out that won't cost us time and money and possibly trip.
I mean, he can understand all of your conversation right now, unless you are purposely having it telepathically or quietly.
Yeah, I could have re-upped the bond during this time. So.
Do you have to concentrate on both?
No, it's not a concentration. Neither
Okay.
is.
Okay. Just let me know if you're having this conversation out loud in front of him or not.
I mean,
Look, long term, I think it's a really good idea if we have some level of trust. And, well, in order to get that, he wants us to revive his friend. So that's something that we gotta do.
I don't think we can trust these people, but if we can find a solution to this, an easy solution to this that it won't take us a lot of time, I don't mind. Technically, there is a way to bring him back, but not really alive.
Is that like Serrani bringing the rabbit back?
What I mean is, he seems that he's very, very concerned with what happens to his friend.
Yeah.
So, to play nice, we need to bring that friend back. If we can't play nice with him, what can we do to force him to talk? Using his friend as leverage.
No other way. It's either that or he said we can just kill him, be done with it.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that either. I could use magic to fake it, but
No. This is my fault. I killed him, so I have to make it right. I'll find a way. I'll get the diamond somehow.
okay. We move forward though. We can't afford to go back to the Grove right now.
Well, what do we do with him in the meantime?
To be completely honest, Angus, I don't want this to. I don't want you to have this on your conscience. I'll deal with him, but we need to move forward.
Rick, I think you're muted. I'm not.
Sorry. About this time, Serrani wanders up, having listened to the conversation for about 20 minutes or so of all of this going on, and he just looks at Angus and says, "You did not decide to take this life unnecessarily. We have been attacked by these before. The Queen has been attacked by these before. They did not make themselves known the way we made ourselves known to the elves in this forest. When they took a shot at the seer, the only logical explanation was that they were attempting to slay us, to prevent us from accomplishing our goal. Their actions, not ours, led to his demise. There's nothing we can do about it now, so worrying about it will not help our goal. If this one mourns the death of his companion, maybe he will be able to convince his brethren to not attack us next time when we arrive. Other than that, there is no way we can fix this, so we need to move on."
I agree with the plan.
I agree. We can't waste any more time here, Angus. This is not your fault.
Well, I still refuse to be called liars, so we're fixing this at some point.
Yeah, at some point, yes. It took me 2 months to fix the thing I did before. Right, and they're elves. It's not like they're on a time
Right.
limit here. We are. That's the difference, and we have to get going.
So I'll look back to the elf and give him a thumbs up. We'll fix your friend in due time. But
Would you like me
unfortunately,
to-
right now we
would you-
can't.
Would you like to make sure he comes with us?
It'd probably be a better idea if he did.
Yeah. Let's see where else we leave him.
He just has leaned his head back against the tree. His eyes are closed. There's just a expression of defeat on his face. Resigned.
Sarani turns to him. Would you be willing to talk to your people to prevent more bloodshed? We have no issue with your kind, except for the fact that they've attacked us multiple times. Our goal is to stop the demon lords from ruining this entire planet. We need to stop them. You need to stop them. Their way is not conducive to life, neither of ours nor yours.
Do I have a choice?
One always has a choice. It's whether or not one makes the hard choice, the one in their heart they know is right, instead of the easy choice.
Are you dragging me with you, regardless of what I want or not?
No.
No.
Well, what do you want to do? Do you want to go off and leave the corpse here and then watch us stumble into your friends? Something's getting damaged either way.
Leave me here.
I won't. Here are the choices as far as I see them. You come with us, and we take the body with us as well. And we go to the cabin and we negotiate, and hopefully we don't have to cause any more bloodshed. And we find diamonds there, and Luna can do the spell. If you don't trust us,
He looks.
to Shadebrush, and we will meet you there as soon as we can.
He
And
looks at
Luna will
you.
do the spell.
He opens his eyes and looks at you, Angus. Angus, go ahead and make a persuasion check on your behalf. Because of the seer's persuasion check, you can have advantage on this. Your remorse is real. I have never seen a human show remorse for killing an elf.
I
Why?
think you've got enough humans.
Why?
There are a lot of different humans. We're not all as welcome as each other in certain circles. For most of my life, I was a pirate, a criminal. My crew were my family, and one of them, he was the most important person in the whole world to me. And if anything happened to him, I don't know what I'd do. And I get the feeling that you feel the same way. And so I will find a way to fix what I've done.
The elf looks down. He kind of is. He looks down purposefully, not showing his face to anyone. Then when he looks back up at you, Angus, you can see that his face is tear-stained. I will go with you. Please. Bring Eldereth Protect his body. Return him if you mean it. And I will go with you.
Is the warden close?
Yeah, the warden's just kind of watching all of this. He was cooking his, he was cooking breakfast. Staying out of it. You can get the sense, Luna, that he was purposefully trying to, belie any association with the other two elves, right? Kind of keep his distance from the situation, knowing that there's probably some distrust from all of you as to whether or not he is connected or associated with them in some way, so he has stayed out of this until now, waiting, kind of hanging back on purpose, right? Busying himself.
So the moment our prisoner talks about taking care of his friend's body and taking both of them with us, Luna just sighs and rejoins the warden. She doesn't want any part of this conversation.
Interesting.
She's fine with whatever they decide.
The Lulinar
Angus
gives
is
you
gonna ask Sarani. You can do that ritual thingy, right? That will preserve Aldereth's body.
Oh, I thought you meant you wanted me to make sure he followed us.
Just to make sure that he's preserved for Luna to revive.
Oh, well, where are we going to put him?
We'll bring him with us. Like I said, there should be diamonds at the cabin. It would make sense, right?
Are we
Yeah,
going
there's
to
not
carry
diamonds in
him?
the cap. Yeah. Zerati, you can like put things in you, right?
Well, not a body.
Why
Wouldn't it
not?
be better? Wouldn't it be better if he just walked himself?
I'm speaking about Eldereth, the dead elf.
Yes.
Can you cast Gentle Repose, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, I know what you're asking. Sarani is asking if you want me to animate him so he can just walk himself instead of us carrying his ass. Sorry, can't he just walk himself? I mean, I could just make him get up and he could just follow with us.
Nah, I don't like that.
Please no. While I was interested in the notion, this is not the time for that particular experiment.
The
Russ will wave his hand and conjure up a shimmering disc of force that floats above the ground. It's
didn't
kind of weird.
didn't Luna already cast Gentle Repose?
No, she can't spare the dying on him.
Oh yes.
Oh no, wrong guy.
I casted Spare the Dying on the one we're interrogating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since the other guy is dead, then I
Yes,
can't.
he was
do it.
dead. Yep.
And I
Yes.
don't have.
I
gentle-
can gentle repose him. Yes. He will not become an undead. And it will extend. It will extend his life. It will extend the amount of time you have to return him to life.
Right.
While you are having this conversation, when Luna walks over, Lulinar will look over to you, Luna, as you come over to where he is. He is tending to the rabbits that he has been cooking. He looks up at you as you walk over. Had enough of the conversation, did you?
Yeah. Yes.
You think that they're wasting our time.
All I think is that we need to be moving.
And if this doesn't slow us down, do you still disapprove?
Tend to your cooking, Elf.
He smirks. Have it your way. Since when do you, I'll just say this. You seemed taken aback when you were referred to by me as a halfie. And now you point out that I'm an elf. Is that sass in your voice? Or have I gotten under your skin?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Elf.
It's good to see some mutual chiding. I don't think you like me very much, but that's alright. I'll get you where you need to go. He rips off a leg of rabbit and holds it up to you. Should be good.
She'll take it. But not eat it, just like take it in her hand.
Now that we've decided that we're taking this fellow with us and the body with us, Sarni is going to pull the prisoner upright to his feet.
Harshly or just...
No, just calmly.
Okay, he'll stand.
I'm going to lower myself so that I'm eye to eye with this short little creature.
I mean, he's a normal-sized creature.
And he's an elf. He's like 5'6".
Yeah.
Sarani's 7 foot.
Right,
So-
yes.
Angus is 5'5".
Yeah,
I know. That's what I'm saying.
this guy is a
What are you calling short is what I'm saying.
this guy is a towering inch over Angus.
Yes. And Sarani is 2 feet taller than him. So Sarani will lower himself down and look him directly in the eye and go, now make no mistake. Do not take our kindness for weakness.
I take your kindness. He says, I have seen remorse. I have trying to get the right voice. I'm switching between too many accents.
I feel your pain.
I see remorse, and I see a desire to fix what you have broken. I do not see kindness here. And a lack of compassion is weakness, not the act of compassion. You are a fool if you think that.
That was not my meaning. Just understand we have no wish to cause more death. Please try to convey that to your companions once we arrive. It will be beneficial for all of us.
I go with you because you have made a promise to restore my love to me. I cannot promise that in doing so, I will curb the actions of my people.
I don't wish you to curb them, just inform them.
I will do what I must for you to fulfill your promises. And he
That
looks
is
at
enough.
Angus when he says that, not you, Sarani.
Zoran says, that is enough. Warden, it is time for us to move on.
Aye, that's good. I just finished my rabbits. Here, let's everybody take some, and let's get to move on. Remember, stay as quiet as you can. I may have made the food so that you won't talk, because you'll be too busy eating.
That normally doesn't stop me.
Yeah, I think you're massively overestimating the table manners of this group.
Sarani swallows 3 of the rabbits whole and hands 2 more to Sharp Eye.
I wasn't thinking about manners. I was just thinking about stuffing your mouths too full to speak.
Wonder if regurgitate is a viable command.
Perhaps if it's pronounced correctly.
Good at that. Mirth will
He's just kind of leprechaun now. What the hell, Mark?
Mirth will take a rabbit.
Now, how many rabbits did he get?
6.
6. Okay, so I ate 3. Sharp Eye got 2.
No.
I'll give my piece to Angus. Or
Yeah, you see somebody just grabs one and swallows it whole, hands one to Sharp Eye, and then reaches for another one.
The Lulinar begins to head into the forest, bringing everyone with you. After a few hours, you still see the shifting movements of this place, but now there are other enchantments at play. Things that are like you'll be looking at the path and it'll suddenly turn to grass. You can tell that this place is made. There is this shifting of the forest itself that was happening. It wasn't really an illusion. It was more like natural mirages that were taking place. And now it seems like there is a purposeful illusion on top of that. But your companion guides you. You come to a wall of trees and foliage that is so dense that it would take hours of hacking through this underbrush to continue to move forward. It's like Sarani with a bad hair day.
Ooh.
And yet your companion turns to you and says, "For this, close your eyes and walk forward. Just believe it's not there."
Sarani does what he asked. That's the first
Mind
one.
over matter.
God, this is just like in the stories. Oh yeah, Mirth will immediately hop to it.
Mind the trees, though. Those are real.
How are we supposed to mind the trees with our?
He closes his
I'll
eyes.
figure it out. Whee!
He closes his eyes, reaches a hand out, and places it on the bark of one of the trees, and then moves along the tree.
Mirth just frowns. They don't do that in books. They just stick his arms out and zombie shuffle forward.
Mirth, give me a, oh god. Give me a perception roll. With disadvantage because your eyes are closed. 14. Okay, you managed to, walk between the trees without walking, directly into one. But you walk forward into this dense foliage. When your eyes were open, it was just this wall of greenery. This thick, dense brush. And you close your eyes and you walk forward, expecting to feel these branches just stopping you in your tracks. But as you move forward, you hit nothing but open air. You expect to feel branches and leaves tugging at you as you go, but there's nothing. And after guiding you forward for 10 feet or so, you hear Lulinar say, "You can open your eyes."
Tentatively open them.
There's you've come out onto a dirt roadway, about 10 feet wide, purposefully cleared, And when you look behind you, you can see through that dense foliage, translucently, back to the forest from which you had walked through. The pathway leads in the direction of a high, manicured, topiary wall that has been, purposely shaped and grown. There are trees all around it, and it blends itself into the forest, but you can see it up ahead along this pathway. There's a gate in it, which hangs open. It is a small wrought iron gate with the Sylvan icon for Merwin in the gate itself. It swings quietly in the sunshine of a summer day. Birds chirp, and the sunlight on this topiary wall causes the top of it to be very, very green. It's idyllic, like a secret garden kind of a feeling to it, of just you've walked into a fairy tale, an enchanted place of quiet and rest. You can feel it all around you. And then your prisoner speaks in Elvish and says, "There are many of us in the trees. They guard the path."
Careful.
The trees
Go around
flanking
us.
the road.
What's that?
Like the trees like flanking the clearing and road.
The trees that are all around the topiary wall up ahead.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
The hedge wall. Yeah. And I will do this. And put you down where you are. I may have to adjust your token vision. Let me know if I do.
It said I don't have a token on the thing.
Yeah, I'm putting you down. There.
Aha. I see me. Can we adjust our marching order real quick?
Yeah.
Because that would be up front.
Hold on. Where are you guys going? Don't move yourselves.
No, I was just moving myself to here.
Keep yourselves here.
Okay.
Okay.
Die.
Who has dark vision? Does everybody have dark vision now?
I can go ahead and go and then get it.
Sharp I can cast on myself inside.
I mean, it's not dark here. It's bright, right? So I just need to... I'm just trying to see from your perspective really quick.
Mine's not long enough.
Oh, right. Yours is 120 feet, isn't it, Sarani?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Let me just do this real quick.
Could we have had the opportunity for a short rest on the way here?
Yes.
Okay. Then right before it, I would have cast Aid twice on all members of the party and the elf.
Oh, I don't need aid.
I'm giving you it. You,
Whether you want it or not, you're getting
Okay.
it.
you're
Well,
getting it.
I don't get the temporary hit points.
It's not temporary.
They're not temporary.
They're permanent
Aid.
hit points.
It's to
They're-
boost your
they're
maximum
actual hit
HP.
points.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we get? Plus 5?
5. Oh wait, no, I won't do the elf. I'll do sharp eye.
Okay.
Can we get a plus 5 then?
Yeah,
Or-
boost to 5. Yeah, for 8 hours. They come
Okay.
back on short rest.
All right. So now the light sources outside should be there. We'll do that. Okay. So who does not have vision? Does anybody not have vision?
I got vision.
Good.
Okay. All right. So the elf, not your elf, but your prisoner, will point out the positions of. This is your companion, and I will mark him as such. There. He points out the position of several elves who would be watching in the trees. As you approach.
So
That's
we
on
call out to
myself.
them or what?
What's that?
That's on myself. That's the new thing. I had to change because the feat changed because of Tasha's. I had to pick a new spell for Fey Touched.
Right, that's fine. Okay, so your elven prisoner points out the trees where men are normally stationed in, and you can make them out once they are pointed out to you.
Excellent.
So do we call out to them or what?
And I'll get the telepathic watch. It'll be up, but I'll see how I cast it. All right, 40 minutes left on it then.
Okay. I mean, they could see you coming as soon as you entered the roadway, which would probably be somewhere back here. It's kind of. There you go. Nice little roadway for you.
Elegant.
Thank you. You can reposition yourself however you would be for marching order, but I just put you all there. You would just be at that point. And you can tell me what you all are doing.
Waiting to see how we're going to approach this. Point is, we're going to try not to kill anybody. At least do our best.
Tell them we're here to talk, not to fight.
Who are you saying that to?
The prisoner.
Ah. He nods. And walks.
I'll move forward with him. So
Okay.
you can put him next to me. I'll be right next to. So if he moves, I move.
Move, you move. Just like that.
Yeah.
He walks forward with you and calls out to the elves in the trees in Sylvan. For those of you who understand, he says, "It is Gilliandar of the Gilded Gold Leaf. Your scout. I have come with my captors. They wish to parley, to speak, and to deal. I have warned them that this may not be possible. And yet this is what they have requested of me, their prisoner."
Mirth will translate all of that telepathically to the rest of the team.
Okay. They know you are in the trees. They have seen you there. And I believe that they will make short work of you, as they did me. And Eldorath. Get the Seeker.
I won't translate the part where he says they'll make short work of Eldorath. Or they made short work of Eldorath. I'll leave those 2 words out.
Okay. But they hear the name. Everybody hears the name.
I don't. Oh, right, because the name would be in.
The name is a name, right? And
Yeah.
they know the name. So everybody hears the name, even if they don't know what he said in relationship to it. One of the elves hops down out of the tree and runs into the gate, nodding at your prisoner as he does so, and enters into the house beyond.
I wave to him as he heads off. Hi.
The others will come down, bows drawn, on all of you. And one calls out in Elvish. "Do any of you understand us?"
Yep, I do.
So do I. Telepathically, I say to the party, I don't like this.
"You will wait here as we bring forth our leader."
Okay. We're through. Well, we're near the front gate and not peppered with arrows yet. As far as I can say, this is going splendidly.
As you wait,
Sorani will move closer. Until I will start to move closer until they start to look twitchy.
you take a step forward, and your prisoner says, "I would not do that if I were you." After a while, another elf, several other elves come forward. And this elf introduces himself. "I am Farenduil of the Gilded Glade. You seek to parley, and yet you have humans among you." He's looking at Sarani as he says this, since Sarani's at the front.
Is he saying this in Sylvan?
He's saying it in He says it in Elvish.
Does Mirth translate?
Yeah, I'll translate telepathically, so it looks like he can speak Elvish. Oh, but he can't actually speak it back.
No, I can't. So in Druidic, yes, there are humans with us, as there are elves, lizard folk, tiefling. What does one's race of birth have to do with who they are as a person? Does he speak Druidic?
The elf responds back to you in Druidic, saying, "You speak the tongue of the ancient ways."
Yes. We are merely here to look for something that might aid us in defeating these demon lords that have set upon our world. Our quarrel is not with any of the peoples of Oregon, just those who...
If he responded in Druidic, I couldn't translate that, by the way.
You what?
If he responded in Druidic, I couldn't translate that.
Yes.
So that would hit a break in conversation. I would tell Serani I don't know what he's saying.
I will mentally translate back since they can't speak in Druidic.
Okay.
Okay.
An internal monologue.
I wonder if this works. Tell me if you can read this, Rick.
Yes, I will tell you if I can. Yes.
Can anybody
I think
else
all of
read
us-
that?
We all can, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
weird. I picked Druidic as the language.
Yeah, I have Druidic as a language too, is it not?
But
Yeah,
everybody can read it.
Yeah, we can. Now, we can. I can't read what Serani is saying.
So they can't read mine, but they can read yours.
Weird.
It might be set up in a way where you have to have like a character selected for it to.
Oh, yeah. Let me try that. Ah! How about now?
Yeah,
I
we
don't-
can.
I don't get that one.
Nice.
Okay.
What the fuck?
That's gobbledygook to me.
Yeah. You type, I'll speak out loud twice.
Right.
You know little of what you speak of. No, I know quite a bit of what I speak. It has invaded my home. It has attacked my people. And this is all, of course, in Serani's head, this is all, of course, in the same monosyllabic. Very dry. There's no emotion in it at all. Demons will fall under the might of Dalriel. What is this Dalriel? Who is this? I did not come here to get belittled by the likes of you. I cannot return home. I cannot. We will return your people once we have raised the other one from the dead, which we could use some assistance with. And we are not going to return to my home because it is under siege by a demon lord. And you hear Soraya go, this is not going well. They want us to leave. Maybe Luna, you should try.
I don't think they like her very much.
So I speak in common this time. And I say, listen, I don't know what your quarrel is with the rest of anyone, or why you despise humans as much as you do. I personally don't understand them enough to despise them. The ones I have here with me are friends. All we are asking is to look through this place to find something that will help us defeat these demon lords. There's more than one, and they're not just regular demons, they are demon lords. They will ruin this place, you included.
In
regardless
Elvish,
of your might.
as Luna steps up, he says in Elvish, there are things that the human wizard took from our people, from every people. Things of power that none of you can understand, that none of you could wield. When we have them in our hands, we will take care of these demon lords. We will take care of the human pretenders who claim that this land is theirs. We will bring freedom to those like you. And he motions his hand towards Sarani and Mirth and Sharp-Eyed and your guide, who are persecuted by these. And he motions to Vasir and Angus.
As he motions to me, I just go, hi!
Those who give you dirty looks, who question your existence, who seek to push you into the shadows, into the impoverished corners and gutters of their cities, who defile the land, who brought forth evils.
Okay, so Mirth is translating this, right?
Yes, I'm assuming so.
Okay, so when he finishes that sentence of pushed you into the shadows, actually that I respond in common again because I'm tired of this crap. Just making my brain hurt. I respond in common. Listen, I have not been shunned into the corners or hidden. I actually had a meeting with royalty, a queen, a sovereign of their kind.
Yes, the one they tried to kill.
You speak of us being put into places, but we have, especially me, I have never been put in a place. I have been accepted by humans, elves, tieflings, monks, trolls.
All of you remember the unease with which people watch Sarani as he moves through cities and towns and villages everywhere you've gone.
Yes, but I haven't been chased away like Frankenstein with pitchforks.
No, you have not. You have not. People just kind of are scared of you and stay away.
They avoid me, but the people who I've talked to all talk to me.
Sure.
Which is Sarani's point. Like they have conversations with me. I've not been, you have to keep that thing outside, right? So in Sarani's mind, this guy's full of shit. This guy's, like if anybody is different, Sarani is like the epitome of different. Like,
Angus is gonna just telepathically reach out and just try to share the notion of there's no way we're gonna convince them. There's no way that they're gonna look at Visser and me and not see just a human and an enemy.
Well, we don't need to.
Focus on if they say that they can take the might of Thariel to defeat the demon lords, then say that we want to help them do that. That's the best way forward.
Listen, you say that the wizard stole some stuff from you. What about the things he did not steal? Maybe you take the things that belong to you. We will peruse the things that don't belong to you and use those in our fight. You take those things, and if we fail, you can defeat them. And if you fail, we will have the means to defeat them. Everyone wins.
We are not here to share.
Then you are here to die.
With all due respect, what you're saying is wagon load of bullshit, of zealotoid crap. I've lived my entire life the cities of this plane. I've scrounged for scraps behind the temples of the gods that your people pay worship to, hoping to find a crust of bread alongside humans. And these three, he gestures at Luna half-handedly. This is all in Sylvan. He's not translating this. These are the only people who've brought me out of that. I walked into the town we helped save, a wreck. I was a liar and a cheat, and I stole from a family whose child I got killed. 3 months later, I went back and brought him back, and never would have done that without the help of these people here. So fuck your selfishness at this point, honestly. I've seen the cities of the world. I've breathed that culture. I've breathed the air. I've walked the streets. And I've starved in the alleyways. And it's not going to work on your own. It never will, and it never has. That's why the dragons got shunted out. You know why? Because we had dwarves, and we had elves, and we had humans. So this is all stupid. This is all extremely stupid. And you're being a stuck-up, leaf-eating, knife-eared brat, in all honesty.
That was a really nice distraction. I'm casting this. And when he says we're not here to share, Sarani says then you're here to die.
This is all in stone.
Huh?
How many elves do we see?
You see the ones in front of you. So that's what?
Do I see
6?
Sarani casting this spell?
Where you're casting it right there, Sarani?
Yeah, 20-foot cube.
Yeah, you would see him casting it. You're saying all these things to him.
When I reach into a haversack, the item I think of immediately springs to my grasp, right?
Yes.
I reach into my haversack, pulled out a scroll of counterspell, and will attempt to use it.
Okay. Then...
So it would automatically counter his spell, but I need to make sure I can cast it. Because it's of a higher level, I'd not be able to.
Okay.
Hopefully pretty good at it. Yeah, I get it off.
Alright. And counterspell is on your spell list, correct?
Yeah, it's on the warlock list.
Okay. Then the erupting earth is countered.
Sarani, now is not the time for this. Again,
Look at you. You say these things, but you fight amongst yourselves.
Can I move
I
forward?
just saved the lives of you and your retinue. I think you should show a little grace.
Yes, Luna. Stop there. He says in Elvish.
She's showing him the shield. Like she has it. Would this grant us safe passage to the cabin without your interference?
He looks at the shield. The hero of the misguided? No. We are not from these measly elf homes that are the children of our ancestors. We are from Thalriel, the true elf home. From the Gilded Glade. We come from the Feywild. We come from the true elves.
Ever wonder why it's the one elf home to be lost to seclusion? And it's only heirs, or your little cult of fanatic zealots.
Lost to seclusion? No. No, you do not understand. When the humans began to slaughter us wholesale, we returned to our home and erected ancient barriers. And you think we are a measly few? Do you not understand that our might has been building for 1,000 years. We require only what is hidden by this Merwin you all revere so greatly.
It's been building for 1,000 years while the humans have been exponentially expanding their own. He sent a
And-
crack team into the palace of the queen to try and take her out, and all of them were captured or killed. In a few seconds, no less. By us, I don't think you understand what you're tussling with. You say you want to rise up against the Outer Worlds. And as far as I can tell, a few weeks haven't made a dent in this little musty old house. And judging from what I've heard from our friends back in the measly little elf home you speak of, you're not going to. So, I do so strongly suggest you just step away now.
He nods. Then you are something to be reckoned with. In that case, you countered the wrong spell. And he will cast this.
If he starts casting, I'm gonna pull out my second scroll of counterspell and let that loose.
Nice. Okay, you will need
What's
to
he have
roll.
to? Why wouldn't he have to?
You will need to roll against that, against this. And why did this put this here?
Can I have a reaction to that?
Counterspell
Not
goes
really.
off. And
And-
26 to counter, so I would counter a 16th level spell.
Okay, it is countered.
Roll for an ish.
Yep. And what are you doing, Luna?
I wanted to say that seeing him cast a spell,
Don't roll for initiative yet. But yes, seeing him cast a spell.
I wanted to use a spell on him, like throw myself at him and cast inflict wounds. Unless you want to do it in combat.
Yeah, he's casting mirth counters, and yes, you can attempt to cast inflict wounds on him. And now everybody can roll initiative.
Freaking 4th level inflict wounds, Jesus Christ.
You countered my 4th level spell, Mirth.
I countered his as well, it balances out.
No.
That one.
So I deal 26 necrotic damage, but
You have to hit. Did you roll to hit? 19. Okay, yes.
25 and 26, solid.
I got 2 ones on that damage roll.
Sharp Bite. Okay, so Sharp Bite is at 5, and I'm at 25.
Add 2 to mine, please.
Will do. Give me a second. I'm trying to switch the music, but Groovy has been an asshole lately, so...
Rolled a whopping 2 on that extra D8 that I get. Still not in double digits.
What? Oh, there we go.
All right, no killing.
Oh, yeah, no, no killing, right? Let's tell Sarani and his Flameblade that.
Sarani will probably be dead long before that at this point.
Okay, so you rolled a 19 to hit this creature and did how much damage?
26, it looked like.
Okay. Mirth?
Yeah, 26 will probably.
And then Sarani, yours is 2 higher.
Yes.
So what's your initiative?
It would be an 7.16.
Okay.
Question: What spell did I actually counter?
Wall of Thorns.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one to counter.
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's your action, Mirth.
Well, that was a bad decision to say the least. Sorry about this. I'm going to. Oh, perfect. All right. I stretch out my hand, and I'm going to cast Ego Whip on him.
Interesting.
A lash of psychic energy whips out from my hand and kind of curls around his head, and then
Okay.
flares with psionic energy.
All right.
Intelligence saving throw. I will use. No, actually, I don't. I won't. So DC 17 intelligence save.
Okay. Alex, can I ask you a question real quick? Do you still have a hard stop at 5?
Hmm. No notification that it's canceled or anything, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah.
All right, so here's what happens. Mirth reaches out his hand and casts this spell. You see the spell do exactly as described, and we will actually end it with that action. And I will roll the saving throw at the start of next week because it is 4:47. So
I definitely want to do this, but I got another game. It's just how it is.
I've got another game in 2 hours, so I need to eat dinner and get ready for that as well.
All I hear is excuses.
But
That's all I ever hear.
Let's do some favorite moments and shut it down for today, and we will be back next week with Dark and Hungry God. Alex, why don't you go ahead and give? We'll do the fast version that we did last time. We lost somebody's camera again. Nor. Assuming.
Okay, fast version. So Vasir favorite moment was definitely him just deciding unilaterally for the entire group we're bringing the fucking dead elf back.
Mhm.
Just because. And
then-
as far as everybody else is concerned, I love that like Mirth could have been like in a lot of ways similar to these elves, with the whole fact that he fucking lived his life being shunned basically everywhere and basically like giving up on the idea that anyone was going to accept him and all those sorts of things. But it is literally like our group that like turned him away from that path, which I like. I mean, him bringing that up and all that was good.
Okay, Nor, your favorite Luna moment, and then a moment for one of the other characters.
Okay, first things first. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of stuff today, so I don't have anything particular for Luna. Favorite moment for the others. I'm torn between Vasir's save this elf. He wants to help him, or Angus's reaction when he saw how that elf reacted to his partner dying or being dead. And actually,
Oh, go ahead.
Mirth had a cool moment, like at the end of his conversation with the elf leader.
Agreed. And actually, Mirth, go ahead and take inspiration for that. And since you didn't, I will give you a cool Luna moment, which was your Luna walking away from everybody's conversation with everyone and going over to where Lulinar was standing, making the rabbit, and the little interaction there. I really enjoyed that moment for Luna.
Okay.
Angus or David, favorite Angus moment, and then a moment for one other.
Yeah, just getting to do that moment of like making this sort of cruel statement about like, okay, I'll drag this person's soul back from the dead, and I can't guarantee that I won't do damage to it in the process, and then like realizing the implications and having this like internal moment of then like projection and just having a pretty rough emotional time with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really liked Serrani's interaction with this sort of elf druid leader who's like trying to take on this idea of like, well, you know, we're the rightful people who should be in charge. We should be the empire that's in charge, and we're doing this to liberate everyone, even you. We're going to bring you out of the dark and into the light. And Serrani basically going like, well, I'm from the dark, and as far as I can tell, the party of humans and, you know, tieflings and half elves that I've been traveling with, and there's a like this whole multicultural group we were going, have done a much better job of bringing me into civilization and making me feel welcome there. I've been in the inner sanctum of a freaking queen. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah, agreed. Kim, favorite mirth moment, and then a moment for someone else in the party.
Slick ass counterspells and cool speech. I think that was definitely that. As for the other party members, I think I'm gonna have to give that to David, I guess, for this time with the elf, because I actually have a very similar character in the campaign. Really like sympathized and took a lot from that moment. It was really well done.
Sweet. Rick?
Well, for Serrani, two things stand out. One, again, like David said, really, like, you're going to talk to me about being different? Are you kidding me? But I also liked, for me personally, the interaction between Serrani and the elf prisoner, about, look, we don't want to kill anybody. We're trying to save people when you guys are not making this easy on us, right? Like Serrani really trying to take that extra step and, you know, not being just slaughter them all mentality that he's had for quite some time. The two things for somebody else is, one, I loved Vasir's conversation with Angus while the speeches were going on, where it's like, you know what, I'm really just tired of not being included in this shit, so I'm going to just start meditating. And Angus going, wait, fuck, but you can do that? You can just learn languages just because you sit down? That's how you do it? That's all I have to do is just sit there? Crap, I've been studying all this time. That and Angus's, while I love the role-playing aspect of his, you know, going off and not wanting to kill people, the killing of the elf and then dragging the body back, and just that moment of, oh, cool, you're gonna have, okay, thanks, fine, whatever, and just kind of keeps dragging the body over, where, you know, Angus is not one to do that kind of thing, so, you know, he would always offer to help, so somebody not offering to help him just takes Angus off guard a lot of times. So I always like those little insights. Oh, and Mirth talking to Troll.
Oh yeah.
That was great.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say there's a couple of moments and that I want to point out. Alex, your conversation with the prisoner about not wanting to hurt anyone and thinking that it's a good idea for Luna to bring back the other elf and kind of trying to talk them down. That moved the elf from being hostile to indifferent. And actually had Luna been like, yeah, we can bring the elf back to life, the prisoner probably would have just cooperated with you outright. And so if I didn't give you inspiration for that moment, I would like to. I thought that was a very insightful way of approaching the elf, and be like, look, I've talked to your group before, and here's how I'm going to approach it, right? And then for...
Can I just say, I love the idea that the party decide, we're going to take this dead NPC with us and find a way to revive them, and somewhere out there in the world, like, a shiver runs up Talus's spine.
Yeah, you guys are carrying around a body without a barrel? What's wrong with you?
You gotta have a body barrel.
Every party needs a barrel for bodies.
We need the well.
David,
The closest one.
we need a well. Oh God. David, your response to, like, I could see it dawning on you, the player, as I was kind of like right before I explained the situation to you from your insight roll. I could tell that you knew where I was going before I said anything, and you played it very well. The failed performance roll, I think, was better than if you had succeeded. I am actually glad you failed, because it created this excellent moment for your character and for Vasir to come over and be like, are you okay? And give Vasir some insight into how to interact with the elves. And so, again, if I hadn't given you inspiration for that, I would like to give you inspiration for that. But I believe I did give you inspiration for that moment.
Yep, you did, and I actually needed it for once.
Yeah.
I didn't have it yet.
Nor, like I said, Luna just kind of like walking away from the conversation after Vasir was like, we're taking this elf and bringing it back. Like, you tried to be like, look, I'm the leader, this is what we need to do. And everybody was like, well, we have to consider these other things. And you were just kind of like, I feel like Luna in that moment threw her hands in the air and just walked away. Am I wrong in reading that?
There's that, and there's something else.
Oh, okay.
I'm very
We'll talk
about it.
Yeah,
later.
we can talk. But I thought that, like I said, I thought that gave an opportunity for an interaction with the other elf, and I thought that was a great moment. I really enjoyed how you played Luna, and like poking him as referring to him as elf, and even your comments earlier about I don't like this guy. It was on the telepathic bond. I thought that was great. So I would like to give you inspiration for that if I haven't already. Kim, your speech at the end was very impactful. The way that you deal with people in such a flippant manner, especially the prisoner in that moment, you dealt with the prisoner with like such flippancy, and it got you nowhere. Like, you're this very charismatic character, but you often use your charisma to cut people with your words, rather than convince them. You beguile people rather than persuade, and it was obvious in that moment talking to the prisoner. And then at the end, like, just the moment where Mirth got to say, like, I've grown because of the differences of those around me and what they've shown me. And it was the humans who had the biggest impact on those changes. I thought that was awesome. And you definitely deserve inspiration for that. And Sarani, you're the same moment for Sarani, where you spoke to the elf druid, and it's did the same thing, standing in defiance because of the acceptance of the party around you. Like, the solidarity of the party really shone through in that moment, because you've had a lot of like conflict, inter-party conflict over the last several weeks, and yet in this moment, all of you were like, no, these people, our differences is what makes us stronger. It's what makes us accept each other, and what makes us, grow and move forward and together. And it was this super awesome moment of solidarity. So you definitely should get inspiration for that.
My first inspiration.
I really enjoy.
You have to keep giving it to David, so I know But I just assume half the inspiration David gets is because Sarandi's not using it.
But yeah, everybody had I really enjoyed the role playing of this session. There were some slower moments where I was like wondering if there were going to be decisions made so that you could get to where you are right now. But the role playing in response to like this encounter, which could have just been like, oh, you killed a couple of elven scouts, or you captured a couple of elven scouts and now you can interrogate them, like, became this real opportunity for significant roleplay and character growth. And that's always amazing to see. For me, my moment for me in playing today was trying to show the difference between the elves of Coriol Forest and the elves of Thalriel, and make them seem like they have separated cultures over time. And I don't know if I was able to do that, but I was really trying to show those differences.
The working is there. I think the biggest issue is not you. I think that the Thalriel elves and the other elves haven't had a lot of screen time. Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot for people to if you watch all of your shows, I think you get a much better background on the elves and stuff. But if you're only watching one like this one, I think it's lack of screen time for them as opposed to story.
Sure. I just meant in the way that primarily in the way that like Lulinar, his accent and mannerisms and way of being around you, as opposed to the way that
absolutely
the prisoner was behaving and his accent and mannerisms. I was hoping that they would be different enough that you could see that there was a divergence somewhere between those two.
They both call me half human, so
they did.
Yeah,
they did.
I mean, they both clearly have issues with humans, regardless. Yeah. Just one of them isn't actively trying to kill all of them.
Yeah,
right.
Emmy, the nerdy princess, said in chat that she loves I love the elf content. I think it's really cool seeing the difference, and you can totally tell the difference.
Nice, thank you, Emmy. But yeah,
I found it really fascinating to hear like the zealotry and the level of belief they have, and that there's like stumbling blocks in their own argument they don't even see.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, you pushed us back from the fringes. It's like, well, you're from the Feywild, which means that you're kind of the invading force here. Your home's in the Feywild. You came here. We pushed back. Like, that's the way the humans would frame it. And you're not considering that perspective. And that idea as well, though, of, Merwin took things from every culture. And it's like, yeah, because people are stronger when they work together. Like we do.
Well, the Thalriel elves argument, and I feel okay saying this because you've interacted with them a couple of times, and they've made this argument a couple of times, is that we came from the Feywild into this lands. You accepted us. We taught you culture. Like, we taught humanity how to make cities and be and have culture and have live with nature, and also exist beyond like this warring tribal societies. And then you turned it around on us, and like we're just gonna take everything.
Up on his soapbox complaining about, and we taught them capitalism.
Well, the other problem is it wasn't just the elves; it was also the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
So
everybody contributed.
Everybody contributed, but that's not the way they see it. Anyway,
they always only get half credit.
Alex, I know you got to get going, and I have a game in 2 hours, so come watch the dance. Come watch ARC. David and I will be there for Artifact Recovery Corporation, and they will continue to explore the catacombs beneath the cabin of the Nickel Key Cutter family. And we will see if they continue to have to put wrestling moves on swarms of spiders. But we will see you in a couple of hours. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, and hit the notification bell, because subscriptions don't mean anything on YouTube anymore, so only get the notifications.